Fit feet, 10 points for proper shoe fit. Number 1. Have your feet measured. Make sure you're standing. Your foot shape and size can change when you stand up and place weight on your foot. When measuring, make sure to use a Brannick device as shown in the image on the right. Number 2. Fit your shoes to the larger foot. Most people have one foot larger than the other, so measure both feet. Purchase shoes for the larger foot because it's easier to fit into a shoe that's too big, but hard to shove it into a shoe that's too small. Number 3. Get measured at the end of the day. Your feet are the largest at the end of the day. This is because of mild swelling in the feet, which is normal. If you shop for shoes in the afternoon, you are more likely to get measured for the correct shoe size and fit. Number 4. Don't rely on shoe size alone. Just like clothes, the size can vary depending on the brand. So to double check and ensure proper fit, take out the insole of the shoe and stand on it.
Hello, this is Dr. Austin Brown explaining how to properly fit and size the insole for your shoe. So, in shoes, you'll have what's called the sock liner or insole. In this shoe, it is not glued in, but in some shoes it is, so sometimes you'll have to rip it out. Since you just pull this part out, we'll place this on the ground, and then we'll stand on it. So the first thing will be placing the heel at the back of the insole, and then standing down on the insert. And so what we'll see with my foot, we want about 1 finger's breadth at the front of our insole. And we'll also see, if we did this on the shoe, this would be about this area, and my big toe would be about right here. So one little room in the shoe. The other thing to note is what's called the toe box, which is essentially this area in the front of my foot. And you can see in this spot right here, this is what's called a bunion. This is the ball of my foot. And in this scenario, my shoe may not be quite wide enough because we actually want to see a little bit more blue in this area right here. But in this case, these shoes are quite comfortable. But essentially, we want to make sure that the insole is wide enough. So you want to see a little bit of blue here and a little bit of blue. And obviously, your shoe may not be blue, but we want to make sure the insole fits kind of all the way around.
The insole is the part of the shoe that you stand on when wearing your shoes, and it gives us clues to see if your shoe is likely to fit well or potentially cause you some problems. In the video on the right, Dr. Austin Brown will walk you through the steps of using your shoe insole to see if your shoe is the proper fit. Notice how the ball of the foot is falling off the insert in the picture to the left, and the pinky toe is falling off too. This is an example of inappropriate width of shoe. This would cause pain to the ball of the foot as well as the toes because they are being squeezed into a shoe that's too small. This insole is also not long enough for the foot, although this picture does not show it very well because they're still close to 1 finger distance. This is an example of how sizing can be tricky. The length of this shoe might fit, but the width is too small, and so they would need to try on a different size shoe until the width is comfortable. Number 5. Look at the shape of the shoe. Some shoes are not designed for your foot. Check to make sure the shape of the front of the shoe matches the shape of the foot and toes. In the picture on the right, the left shoe is an athletic shoe. It has a wide toe box, which will fit most feet. However, the shoe on the right, a dress shoe, has a narrow toe box and would not be good for athletic activity, but also not for anyone with foot problems. Number 6. Don't plan on shoes stretching over time. This is a myth. Shoes are not meant to stretch, and if a shoe is too tight when you try them on, then they do not fit properly. Try on a different pair of shoes until they fit comfortably. If your shoes don't fit comfortably when you leave the store after buying them, they are not going to magically fit or become comfortable after you wear them for a while. They will simply just make your feet hurt. Number 7. Check the width of the shoe. The ball of your foot, where the hand is pointing in the picture, is the widest part of your foot and should fit comfortably in the widest part of the shoe, also called the toe box. If there is pressure, redness, or pain on the ball of the foot, then the shoe is not wide enough. Notice how the ball on this foot is sticking out a bit. This is called a bunion. This can make it difficult to find wide enough shoes. Bunions are a very common foot problem, and if you have pain at this area, you should especially make sure your shoes fit correctly, especially the width, and possibly talk to a podiatrist, a specialist foot doctor, about your foot so they can evaluate you and provide personalized recommendations, because everyone's foot is different. Fun fact, did you know that your footprints leave behind a unique biomechanical impression that only you have? No one else in the world has the same footprints as you. Just like your fingerprints are one of a kind, so are your footprints. Toe box and width. The picture to the right is of the toe box of the shoe. This should be wide enough to fit the ball of the foot, but also flexible enough on top to avoid any rubbing on hammer toes. Number 8, check the depth of the shoe. This is important if you have issues with your toes, and you should check to make sure that the toe box has enough room to fit your toes and not rub on the top of the shoes. Number 9, check the space at the end of the shoe. Stand up and push your pointer finger into the top of the mesh in front of your longest toe. This can be your second toe, but sometimes it's your big first toe. There should be about ½ inch, or the width of your finger, of space between your longest toe and the front of the shoe. Number 10, always stand and walk around in the shoes before purchasing. Even if it's just a few paces around the store, spend a few minutes walking around in the shoes before you buy them. If you notice any pressure to your toes or feet, or if any of the previous points don't feel right, try on a different size and/or style of shoe. This may take some time and patience, but it's better than ending up with shoes that make your feet hurt or cause an injury. Key things to remember about your feet. Your feet should not hurt. If they do, it's usually a sign of misfitting shoes or overuse or something else going on. Either way, if your feet hurt for more than 2 weeks straight after taking a few rest days, you should consider speaking to a doctor about your feet. A podiatrist is a doctor who specializes in foot care. More than 50% of Special Olympics athletes wear shoes that do not fit properly. There are a lot of different reasons for this, but if you use the above information, your shoes will fit well and you shouldn't have any issues with your feet. But if you do, stop by one of the Healthy Athletes Fit Feet screenings to be evaluated and ask questions. Your feet allow you to do some awesome things, like run, walk, jump, kick, dance, score a touchdown, or literally carry your team to victory. Take care of your feet. And if you're having any problems with your feet, please ask your family and friends for help and talk to a doctor. We all want you to be healthy, happy, and active.